This is the Horse Radio Network. This is episode 324 of Horse Tip Daily, a different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you one day at a time. Today's tip is sponsored by Eco Gold, high-performance products for the ultimate in comfort and protection for your horse. Visit them at ecogold.ca. Howdy, everybody. Glenn the Geek back with you from Lexington, Kentucky, and you're listening to Horse Tip Daily. Well, we have back with us today Max Corcoran. She was actually on the Eventing Radio Show, episode number 102 at eventingradio.com. And she said something they were talking about. Chris Stafford, a host there, was talking with her, Max about the World Equestrian Games. And, of course, Mac's been on this show many times. She is the longtime groom for international eventer Karen O'Connor. Well, Karen had a little bit of a tough ride there at the World Equestrian Games, and Max was talking about that, and there were about 2 minutes of the conversation I wanted to pull out today as today's tip, because I think it just hit me. It was kind of profound, in my opinion. And I just loved her one statement in here, and I think you'll know which one it is. And we've all had the highs and we've all had the lows she talks about, in our lives in general. So it just hit home with me, and I thought you would enjoy it too. So we're going to bring that to you right after we let Kyle Carter talk a little bit about Eco Gold. Regular listeners to Horse Tip Daily know that we love the products at Eco Gold. Well, there's others that love the products at Eco Gold, too, that are a little better riders than I am. And one of those is Kyle Carter, the international eventer and well-known in the eventing community, and just a fun, lovely guy, a good family man, too. And here's what Kyle has to say.
Well, I came across the saddle pad the first time when I was over at Burley, and one of the Canadian riders was riding in the saddle pad, and I got to try it in a schooling session. I loved it, and I actually stole the saddle pad from her and used it on cross country at Burley. It is bar none the best saddle pad out there. We get given saddle pads all the time because people want you to ride with their logo on your horse, and I've reduced every saddle pad in my string to Eco Gold for the major competition.
Thank you, Kyle. You can find those saddle pads at ecogold.ca. That's ecogold.ca. And now here is Max Corcoran talking about what she learned grooming for Karen O'Connor at the World Equestrian Games.
Oh, my goodness. Well, there's so much you come out of these competitions and stuff, and there's so much you can sort of reflect on. And, there's something that Karen and David have always said, and they say, there's a bunch of things. One thing that they've always said to me is don't let the highs get too high because the lows will get so very low. And they're very, very right on this, especially in this case. You just got to take one day at a time, and you celebrate the good times, and you learn something from the bad times, and you learn something good from the good times as well. But just make sure your emotions don't get too high or too low, because it'll eat you alive. It'll keep you up at night, and it's not good. The other thing I've learned a lot from these journeys is to remember the journey itself. Remember the people that you've met, the people that you meet, the friendships you've formed. You're in an intense situation in this whole group of people, and there's always such fun people that you get to know better. And at the end of the day, you're not going to remember what happened at that competition. You may be like, oh, yeah, I remember that. That happened when blah, blah, blah. But it's the friendships that you've made with those people and those horses along the way. That's what you're going to remember the most about them. And that, to me, is what keeps you wanting to get to the next one again. In a couple of years from now, no one's going to remember who actually, it's like, oh, who won that year? And, you don't necessarily remember that, but it's the little things, the experiences that you have that you will remember along the way.
I know that was pretty short, but I thought it was pretty profound, too. I actually went back and played that a couple of times, and we want to thank Max for contributing that. And, of course, you can hear Max. She did a complete hour review on the Eventing Radio Show, episode number 102 at eventingradio.com. I encourage you to go take a listen. Really like Max, and I like her when she is co-hosting that show over at the Eventing Radio Show. She's very insightful. And, of course, she's seeing it from the groom's side of things, but she's been there a long time. Max is much more than a groom to the O'Connors, that's for certain. Thank you, everybody. And don't forget, Horses in the Morning starts on November the 1st, and we just confirmed. You can listen on Monday morning at 9 a.m. at horsesinthemorning.com or horseradionetwork.com. You can listen and hear how you can win a $500 holiday shopping spree from Equestrian Collections, or your choice of any Vespucci bridle worth up to $500. And you can find all of those. I found out all the details about how you can do that. And we're going to be giving away a total of over $2,000 worth of products in the month of November alone on the show. So that's horsesinthemorning.com on Monday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, to find out how you can win over $2,000 worth of products. And it's simple. It's not anything complicated for certain. Thank you, everybody. We'll talk to you again tomorrow with another new expert and a different horse tip. Until then, stay safe, everyone.
The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.